Konnichiwa, to every otaku out there. Today's topic. 14. Deceiving anime. That prove you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Number 14. Punchline. For the first 5 episodes, that's exactly what it is. If Yuta Aridatsu sees panties, his incredible powers will be activated, and the world will be destroyed. Sounds like a thinly veiled reason to draw anime panties, right? Wrong. Punchline features one of the most tightly woven plots in anime history. Every single thing that happens makes some type of logical sense within the rules of its universe. What's more, the art is spectacular, the character development is spot on, and it's just overall a really good series, with a really good plot, something most people would never imagine, given its wacky description. Number 13. My teen romantic comedy snafu. My teen romantic comedy snafu may look like a simple slice of life anime about a school club, but it goes a lot deeper than many viewers anticipate. Hachiman Hikigaya is a cynical teenage boy who is convinced that most people are trapped by a vicious social hierarchy that keeps them miserable and forces them to act against their true nature. At base, everyone is cruel and selfish, and everyone is hiding those emotions to save face. In a different anime, Hikigaya would simply be proven wrong, but in My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, it's not just that he's wrong, it's that he's actively creating situations that prove him right because his own self-esteem is so painfully low, because he sees himself as inherently worthless. He engineers situations in which he looks like the bad guy, and other people treat him poorly as a result, thus allowing him to maintain his cynicism, while protecting other people from social harm. He's also protecting himself from too much intimacy, which he fears, because it could lead to his low opinion of himself being proven correct, something that his views on the social hierarchy protect him from. This isn't just reading between the lines. These things are explicitly addressed within the series. Hikigaya is such an emotionally complex character that he genuinely feels like a real person, a rare feat in any anime, and it's definitely not the type of complexity one would expect from its school club setting. Number 12. Mysterious Girlfriend X. Mysterious Girlfriend X is an anime that a lot of people write off because its utterly bizarre premise. A couple falls in love after the boy tastes the girl's drool. This sounds like the kind of anime that gives people who don't like anime an excuse to dismiss the medium entirely. But actually, it's surprisingly good. The characters don't behave like any archetype that can be found in anime. There are no tsundeers, no yandeers, no harem leads, no nothing. Both leads just act like actual human people. Weird, yes, but no weirder than what can be found in reality. This anime is shocking, not because of excessive violence or horror, but because it sets you up for something sketchy and bizarre, but instead gives you something heartfelt and genuine. Number 11. Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom is a brightly colored anime about a monster with a smiley face for a head who claims that he's destroyed 75% of the moon and is going to do the same thing to the earth in a year's time, unless a group of middle schoolers is able to take him out. This sounds like a solid battle shonen concept, but this anime is not a battle shonen. Yes, it has some good fight scenes, but those fight scenes are not what's important about this show. Actually, its main themes are about how a teacher can inspire students to be the best versions of themselves. It goes deep into each student's learning style and emotional needs as they can be addressed in an educational setting, all while remaining entertaining. This isn't at all what viewers expect from the tentacle monster protagonist, but it's a heartwarming surprise. Number 10. Fruits Basket. On the outside, Fruits Basket looks like a bubbly shoujo anime, in which a teenage girl named Toru finds herself at the center of a family full of attractive boys, who are all interested in her for various reasons. Each member of the family transforms into an animal from the Chinese zodiac. The premise sounds whimsical and light, and the show appears that way at first, but this anime is actually far dark than most people realize. At the head of the family is a kiddo Soma, a cruel and despotic person who demands perfect obedience from each member of the family. If any member fails to comply with their rigid demands, they can be terribly abused. Punishments include everything from physical injury to locking people in cages for the rest of their natural lives. Though a kiddo is the most unsettling figure in the Fruits Basket universe, many of the characters also have abusive parents None of this is what viewers expect when they first start this show, but it's what they get. Number 9. Magical Girl Raising Project. Magical Girl Raising Project is similar to Pula Magi Madoka Magica, in that it takes the sweet and bubbly magical girl concept and turns it seriously dark. Koyuki Himakawa is a gamer who gets the opportunity to become a real magical girl in the virtual reality game that she plays during her spare time. What starts off as a fun and innocent game quickly becomes a battle royale with real-world consequences. Those who are eliminated from the game meet gruesome ends in real life. It's not surprising that the battle turns out to have real-world consequences. That much is clear from the summary. However, the jarring contrast between the cutesy character designs and the bloody brutality of the demises of just about every character in the series. Number 8. Clannad. Clannad is supposedly a slice-of-life anime that features Tomoya, a male protagonist who forms relationships with his female friends before ultimately settling on one of them. For the first season, that's essentially what it is. But in the second season, things get painfully real in a way that few viewers expected. Tomoya marries his childhood sweetheart Nagisa, and Nagisa gets pregnant. There are a number of complications that one just doesn't expect to see in an anime. Nagisa's already precarious health takes a nosedive during her pregnancy, so Tomoya works himself into the ground, trying to support the family. He has bonding moments with a boss who once used drugs to cope with depression. When the baby is born, Nagisa doesn't survive the delivery, and Tomoya is so devastated that he drinks himself into a stupor and leaves his daughter Ushio with Nagisa's parents. When she's 5 years old, he finally gets his act together, just in time for Ushio to pass away from the same illness that claimed her mother. Clannad isn't an anime that looks like it's going to get this real, but the fact that it does is one of the reasons it is so highly acclaimed. Number 7. School Days. In the beginning, School Days starts off as a typical high school romance anime ridden with tropes, but it's not as innocent as it seems. The main protagonist, Makoto Itao, spends the majority of the series being a disgusting playboy and sleeping around with multiple girls. Seke even reveals to him that she's possibly pregnant with his child. And that's not even the worst part. Things get absolutely bonkers when Makoto kisses Katanoha in front of Seke and asks her to get an abortion. Seke snaps and stabs Makoto to death in a shocking and bloody scene. The craziness doesn't stop there. Katanoha kills Seke out of revenge and slices her stomach to confirm that she lied about being pregnant. The anime ends with Katanoha hugging Makoto's severed head while whispering that they can finally be together. Number 6. Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer seems like it's going to be a fun adventure series in a Dungeons and Dragons type setting. There's no reason to expect that it might be otherwise, but within the first episode, there's an assault scene involving a group of goblins attacking a woman. This scene has proved to be highly controversial within the anime community. Some feel that it establishes exactly how vicious the goblins are and how justified the protagonist is for wanting to get rid of them, while others feel that the scene has little value outside of shock. Whether you thought the scene was successful or not, you probably weren't expecting it when you queued up the first episode. Number 5. Higurashi no Naku Koro ni. Higurashi no Naku Koro ni is another seemingly cheery anime about adorable high school girls being adorable. And if you look at some of the episodes, like the obligatory beach episode, it does seem to be that. If you didn't know it already, this show is one of the bloodiest shows in anime history. The true focus of this show is not cute girls doing cute things. It's Hinamizawa syndrome, a psychiatric condition that impacts everyone in the village of Hinamizawa, that causes a plethora of symptoms, the most noteworthy being a murderous rage. Number 4. School Live. School Live goes out of its way to try and lull viewers into a false sense of security. At first, it focuses on the cheerful adventures of the School Living Club, a group of girls who live at their school. It's not until later that viewers find out the reason behind this unusual arrangement. The girls are the last survivors of a zombie apocalypse and are hiding out in the school to avoid becoming the zombies' next meal. This is lost on Yuki Takeya, who is under the same illusion that the audience is in the beginning. But for the rest of the club, life is an utter nightmare. Number 3. The Promised Neverland. The first episode of The Promised Neverland will have you believe that it's a story about adorable orphans being raised by a loving and kind caretaker named Isabella. But the episode ends on a dark and shocking revelation. Gracefield House is actually a human farm that slaughters children and sells them as meat for demons, and Isabella is much more cunning and evil than she appears. The rest of the series is a thrilling and intense race against time as Emma, Ray, and Norman try to escape before anyone else becomes a victim. Number 2. Pula Magi Madoka Magica. By now, most anime fans know what to expect out of Pula Magi Madoka Magica, but that was not at always the case. When the series first aired, what begins as an adorable magical girl anime filled with transformation sequences, pink, and glitter quickly becomes something much more dire. Over the course of the series, viewers get to watch the characters grapple with the reality that not only are the wishes they make in exchange for becoming magical girls likely to completely destroy their lives, but the witches that they're sworn to defeat were once girls just like themselves. The only thing that's cute about this show is the aesthetic. The content is anything but. Number 1. Made in Abyss. Made in Abyss tells the story of a spunky little girl named Riko, who wants to be the greatest diver the world has ever seen. Divers are responsible for exploring the abyss, a strange gaping hole in the earth that's full of mysterious creatures and hidden secrets. In the first episodes, these secrets sound a little dangerous but mostly magical and fun. However, the dangers of the abyss turn out to be far more dangerous and grotesque than viewers expected. The curse of the abyss can transform formerly normal humans into immortal monsters that are in terrible pain and can't think or reason. All this suffering is portrayed in the most gruesome way possible, something you likely aren't expecting. Based on the adorable art and warm atmosphere of the first few episodes,